All right, so I got another video. Basically, we're getting into law enforcement tells a Mississippi pastor that his rights are suspended. Worshippers fined $500 for attending drive-in service. So let's actually start with something from Pastor Greg Locke. Let's listen to this.
Y'all do realize how big a Walmart parking lot is, right? There is not an absolute space available in this whole place. Hundreds and hundreds of people shopping today in our town at Walmart. And guess what I haven't seen? The police department showing up to arrest anybody for violating social distancing rules. No, I've only seen that at churches. Have you lost your ever-loving mind? If you cannot see that our rights are being stripped away, you need to turn off a television and read a Bible. We are living in the last days, but let me tell you something about the Word of God. It doesn't end with, oh me, it ends with amen. I'm on the right side of history, and I know how this whole thing's gonna turn out. Y'all do.
I mean, he does kind of have a point, but then you could say that, like it's a, going to Walmart would be an essential service, what some people would say. So we got this here. It's like a video is going viral of law enforcement telling Pastor Charles Hamilton of King James Bible Baptist Church in Greenville, Mississippi, that his rights are suspended as they broke up a drive-in service he was holding. Police surrounded the parking lot where Hamilton was hosting a drive-in service on Thursday evening and fined the worshipers $500 per person. Now, they were following social distancing guidelines by staying in their cars 6 feet away, but they were still ticketed. They were more socially distancing than people walking around at Walmart, if you want to use kind of an apples to apples comparison. He's got I'll have all the links to the articles here. And there's a video. You can watch the whole thing here. This little clip is interesting. We'll play this.
Yes, sir. I got a letter from my lawyer too. You want to read my letter from my lawyer? Okay, I'm good. I don't need. I got that. I know about it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if there is a driving,
We're gonna get tickets.
we'll issue citations.
Yes, sir.
So I'd
Yes.
like to give you a formal warning.
Yes, sir.
And we'll allow if you do have members come, we
They-
will allow them to leave before they're cited.
Yes, sir.
If they decide not to, is when they will be dismissed.
Yes, sir. Hey, I love authority.
Well, you can,
Now listen to what this guy says. This is insane.
Order from the governor,
Yeah.
your rights are suspended.
Your rights are suspended. Does this fool not realize the Bill of Rights is put in place to stop the government from infringing on the individual's rights? Your rights are suspended. Are you insane?
No, the government.
You incompetent asshole.
Our right don't come from authority. It comes from the Bible. So the authority does not have the right over the Constitution. We're talking about the constitutional law, the First, Second Amendment, the U.S. Constitution that was given to us by our forefathers. Tate Reed can't take it away. Mayor Eric Simmons can't take it away, nor the police officer.
Can be suspended.
It can't.
Not a military, that's military order.
No, it can't. Hey, look at this, y'all.
Yeah, so let's get back. Law enforcement said that Hamilton and the members of the church were violating an order from Democratic Mayor Eric Simmons, which prohibits all gatherings. And I guess this is Eric Simmons himself. First Liberty Council, a nonprofit legal institution that specializes in religious liberty cases, has sent a letter requesting the ban on drive-in services be lifted. Your recent order prohibiting drive-in services leaves him in reasonable fear that he and his church members will be fined and criminally prosecuted for merely engaging in a drive-in church service that fall well within the CDC guidelines, the letter said. We require Greenville, Mississippi to withdraw the unconstitutional order that disturbingly targets religious exercise. I've only been here, maybe, I don't know. I've only been hearing this about, especially, I'm filming this on Easter today. And I'll get it up today as well. But I've only been hearing this about, I haven't heard anything about synagogues. I haven't heard anything about mosques. I don't know if that stuff's going on. I'm just not hearing about it. Or it's just not going on. Because there's definitely like I'm not Christian myself. I'm like agnostic. But there's definitely a mass hate on Christian people. King James Bible Baptist Church was not the only church in Greenville that was targeted for holding drive-in services this week. Local News 3 reports that approximately 30 cars were in the parking lot of Temple Baptist Church for driving service when police came and began ticketing people $500. We'll get into this one too. The church has been broadcasting the services over the radio, and we're instructing people to stay in the cars with their windows up. We have everybody stay in their cars with their windows up and go into a certain radio station, a low-frequency station, Lee Gordon with Temple Baptist Church told the station. The police started coming up, and we said, we think we're within our rights, so they started issuing tickets, $500 tickets, Gordon said. I don't know. It may have been 20 to 30 tickets. Everybody got one. It wasn't per car. Me and my wife was in a car together, and both of us got tickets. Gordon said that they still plan to safely attend Easter services. This is Easter Sunday, and we want to celebrate Easter Sunday the best way we can. Yeah, I think in Christian belief that other than Christmas, the birth of Christ, that the resurrection of Christ is the second most. I mean, depending on how you look at it, maybe the most, even before Christmas. This Easter Sunday, we want to celebrate Easter Sunday the best way we can, Gordon said. The state of Kentucky, I'll also get into this too, the state of Kentucky is also cracking down on Easter weekend worshipers by recording the license plates of people who attend services and forcing them to self-quarantine for 2 weeks afterwards. The action is to discourage people from attending service. So it's like a power play. They're acting like children, essentially what it is. In a statement provided to the Gateway Pundit, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul slammed the governor's plan. There needs to be some way that Senator Rand Paul can I don't know if he can step in and kind of overthrow the governor's decision or something. Yeah, this is insane. Taking license plates at church, quarantining someone for being Christian on Easter Sunday. Someone needs to take a step back here, said Senator Rand Paul. So getting into this one, the Mississippi police fined Christians $500 for listening to sermons while parked in their cars. And I think this one happened a little bit before the first one that we just looked at. Police officers in Greenville, Mississippi fined Christians $500 this week for attending a drive-in church service in a parking lot. The Christians were parked in their cars with the windows rolled up, but the police fined them for violating the state stay-at-home order. The police in Greenville, Mississippi went to Temple Baptist Church this evening and gave everyone there a ticket for $500 because they had a drive-in service. Charles Hamilton Jr., pastor of King James Bible Baptist Church, posted on Facebook earlier this week. Everyone was in their cars with the windows up listening to Pastor Arthur Scott preached on the radio. What is harmful about people being in their cars listening to preaching with their windows up? Christians, do you all see what's going on? Chris Owens, a Temple Baptist churchgoer who attended the drive-in service, took video of a cop giving him a ticket for sitting in his car with the windows rolled up. Mr. Owens told the cop his church is still complying with social distancing orders, having attendees sit in their cars, but he gave him a citation anyway. And then this is also a video as well. It's roughly about 8.5 minutes. And he does bring up a good point that they were in their cars by themselves, practicing social distancing, even within like the CDC's guidelines, even like the governor had given the okay, supposedly. Then the cop going around car to car interacting with people actually broke the social distancing. So the cop himself broke the rules that the people were upholding. So he possibly could have been spreading things, germs, viruses. Temple Baptist Church pastor Arthur Scott told Todd Starnes that one of the police officers said the mayor wanted to make an example out of his church. I told them to get some more tickets ready because we will be preaching Sunday morning and Sunday night, Pastor Scott said. The police officer said, I might go to jail. Scott added, if it means going to jail, and if it takes that for me to keep preaching, I'll be glad to go to jail. There were a total of 25 cars in the church parking lot, and everyone received a citation from the police officer. Temple Baptist Church is fighting back against this tyranny, and it is, in fact, tyranny. What they're trying to do violates several amendments in the Bill of Rights. Temple Baptist Church is suing Greenville, Mississippi's city's Mississippi's city government and mayor for busting up his drive-in churches, reported the Washington Times. And they absolutely should. They should sue the crap out of them. And they should like sue them so bad it puts them out of business. You can't just violate people's rights like that. I don't care if there is a stay-at-home order, if there is a virus that has a very low death rate going around. Democrat Kentucky governor announced his plan to record license plates of Easter churchgoers and force them to self-quarantine for 14 days. The state of Kentucky is cracking down on Easter weekend worshipers by recording the license plates of people who attend services and forcing them to self-quarantine for 2 weeks afterwards. The action is to discourage people from attending service. That's exactly what it is. They have a little bit of power, and now they're like trying to force people to do what they say. In a statement provided to the Gateway Pundit, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul slammed the governor's plan. Taking license plates at church, quarantine someone for being Christian on Easter Sunday. Someone needs to take a step back here, Senator Paul said. Democrat Governor Andy Beshear announced the effort on Friday, saying that the state will be recording the license plates of those who will show up to any mass gathering and provide that information to the local health departments, who will in turn order those individuals to be quarantined for 14 days. The health departments will be going to the homes of the people who attended services and serving them quarantine orders. Folks, we shouldn't have to do this, Beshear said. I think it's not a test of faith, whether you're going to an in-person service. It's a test of faith that you're willing to sacrifice to protect your fellow man, your fellow woman, your fellow Kentuckian, and your fellow American. Governor Beshear boasted that the state is down to just 7 churches that are still thinking about having Easter services this weekend. Like the government is trying to, it seems like the government is trying to put like a strong hand to control church. Marysville Baptist Reverend Jack Roberts is planning to defy Beshear's attempt at shutting down churches and posting his reasoning on Facebook. Politicians need to stick to trying to figure out a way to steal our money and leave the spiritual life of America to the ministry of those called to preach the word. And this is a little clip here. Time to put on your thinking hats. If someone says we know the church spreads the virus, Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, etc. are all central, we need to close the church down. Do you think the virus just generated in this church, or was it carried in from somewhere else? It's sad anyone gets infected. It's even sadder. It's contagious, but trying to blame churches or a particular church is unthinkable. Politicians need to stick to trying to figure a way to steal our money and leave the spiritual life of America to the ministry of those called to preach the word. The state had a total of 1,693 cases of the coronavirus and 90 recorded deaths as of Friday. At least 464 people have already recovered. So I'm kind of curious what you think on the matter. I mean, them staying in their car, especially if they're playing it in like a low frequency radio, is well within the social distancing. There's other stories I want to carry. I may cover at some point too. There was a woman just driving in a car by herself, got a ticket. I think there was a dad and his daughter were by themselves playing t-ball in a park. He got a ticket. There's another incident where the guy was like paddleboarding, like in the ocean, like just nowhere near anybody. Then he ended up getting a ticket too for this social distancing. So this is definitely, it's not about keeping people separated anymore. It's about, it's turning into like a power play. Like the government has grabbed a little bit of power, a little bit of authority, and it's like cramping down on people. It's like strangling people. So it's worse that it's Easter Sunday too, when originally it was supposed to be lifted by now. And now I think somebody made the point that Trump hasn't did any of the shutdowns. It's been all the state governors. There was the governor, I can't remember her name, but she's like the governor of South Dakota, I believe, and she's not doing any of this crazy draconian like lockdown stuff. She's like, yeah, you should be suggesting, but it's not the government's job to enforce these type of things. So let me know what you think. Do you think this is going too far? I mean, obviously, according to the CDC and all this stuff, they are well within the guidelines of it. I mean, in your car by yourself with the windows rolled up is definitely within that. So, all right. I think this is going way too far. There needs to be serious like litigation held against the city, the police department, the state government. So much so that like it should bankrupt them. Like, you cannot trample on people's civil liberties like this. I don't care if there is a virus going around or not. But anyway, if you like this, you can give me a like. If you really liked it, you can subscribe. Or I'm posting these on Facebook too, so you can follow me there on my page as well. But all right. Yeah, that's cool. That's it. All right. Peace.